Hey everyone, welcome to this week ahead's video, and know that if you're watching it any other time, if you feel called to actually watch the video, that there's a message in there for you, so they're timeless readings. So having said that, the last couple of weeks we've had some pretty big energy shifts. We've had the shamanic resonance has gone off the charts. Solar flares are happening like literally nearly every second day. It's crazy. So because of this, you might be feeling quite cranky and tired, cold or hot. Like there's quick fluctuations in energy and temperature. And that also happens with the weather pattern as well, obviously. Okay, this just came up. So apparently Russia, I think it was Russia or China, thanks Spirit, but they sent up a rocket, and the rocket launcher was attached to the rocket for too long. So it ended up being in space, and they're predicting that it's going to land back. They don't know where on Earth, but somewhere on Earth, next few days, I think. I don't know if that's on the news or not because I don't watch the news. But anyway, I don't know why they're getting me to say this. It just popped in my mind. I'm just rolling with it. But obviously, I don't want to say that to scare people. They don't know where it's going to land. Remember, the Earth is predominantly water. But they're telling me that this is signaling, okay. So it's like a Mandela effect event. And actually that is causing some of the timeline shifts. So for those of you that haven't seen anything on it, you're on a different timeline. And for those of you that have heard about it already to some effect, perhaps even now, this is causing a timeline shift. Very interesting message. And I'm not too sure why. But anyway, it's come out. So they want me to keep going with it, and I really don't want to. Okay, something to do with enacting rainbow energy, cleansing the chakras, clearing energetic fields. They're like, don't think too hard about it. It's just like cause and effect. It's sending a ripple through the universes. And it's helping us attune to a higher frequency of love. Really interesting. I mean, isn't that what the universe is about anyway? Seemingly random events. But it's causing a big timeline shift. So what I'm hearing is that we just need to trust the plan, trust your plan, trust the universe's plan. Everything will work out for you in its highest good. And it might not be feeling that way because, you know, for 5 months of the year, we're in a Pluto Retrograde. So that's happening at the moment. I think it went into retrograde on the 27th of April. But I think I'll either do a YouTube video or I definitely will do it on TikTok. It's just good to get like short amounts of information out in a minute. So I might do it on that. But yeah, there's a lot of changes, and it's predominantly will be from the inner child, and it wants a lot of changes to be made this year. So don't feel overwhelmed with that. It's just like a little notification that that's what's going to be happening. So I'll talk through that on another video. They're saying not today. The energy is very heavy. Even as I'm talking, I feel like I've really I'm really connected, and you might feel the same. I'm very connected to spirit. And the energy is feeling quite heavy. Where normally you think it would feel light, but it's because we're so dense in our 3D body. It just it sends this heavy ripple towards us. And also I feel like I've got a different spiritual ancestor here with me, and their energy is very heavy, and they really want some messages to come out today. Okay. Something's important. Let's get a message from a goddess to start with. It's all upside down. I'm not going to take the ones that fell on the floor. You can stay. Persephone. Now she represents that Pluto energy. And I can't remember the exact story, but I know, it might say in the book, that she had to make a choice, a hard choice, and she went into the underworld, even though she didn't want to. This is very young energy too, because I think this was quite young to her. In mythology, she was quite young when she made the decision. Obviously, we've made decisions like that a lot younger. And the word at the bottom is compliance. And I feel like this is something that's shifting. Would say boo-hoo, it's not fair, it's their fault, they just don't care, comply, ditch the phenomenon, whining victim, now be gone. By the power of the dark goddess in me, protection in place, blessed be. And that was something else that's coming through, is we're very protected at this time, even though we may feel like we're not getting our way, and not getting what we want. This is linked to the inner child and the Pluto retrograde energy. So Persephone is a symbol of that. And it's the victim mentality. I can't remember the hard choice she had to make, but she made the choice to go into the underworld. Obviously it was to do with some man having power over her, the usual story, that's something that's changing. Definitely something that's changing. You know, there's such big talk about the feminines having internalized misogyny, you know, and you think about it also how some women, not all of them, but they're always like wanting to gang up and get other women, especially women that stand out or they feel threatened by. And that's not a system that's breaking and changing. Because sometimes women can be our biggest enemies. It's that competition vibe. It's that I feel like I have to be better than you vibe. Whereas, you know, it's got nothing to do with that. I'm not saying anyone watching this is doing that, but I feel like for a lot of us light workers and starseeds, that happens to us a lot because we stand out, we're different, and people sense that at an energetic level. And then we start creating that victim mentality of, that's not fair, why does this happen to me? And it's not, and it's shit. But I'm getting the feeling that people are shutting down parts of themselves because of that, and I totally understand. I sometimes feel the same way. It's hard. It's hard to be different, but you came here to be different. So focus on being different instead of focusing on the victim mentality. Put your energy into that, catch your thoughts when that happens, and then pull yourself back to your creativity or how you're individual and how you're grateful for who you are and being awake, even though it's hard. Having suffered emotional upheaval and inner trauma has led to self-pity, which Persephone understands completely, even if others don't. However, she warns the sob stories not only invite negativity, they can also be a bore to endure. They serve to reaffirm all the distress you wish to dissolve, thus creating more of the same. Time to change your story. It's hard, isn't it? So this is something you could be feeling your whole life. This could be a Pluto retrograde thing coming up. This could be something that pops up and you notice this week. So just remember that the only way I know of to get out of this energy is to literally just shift your thought. So I pulled this card already. We've got, where can I create more space? Instead of filling yourself up with busy work and things to do, create more sacred space in your schedule, in your home, your mind, your lungs, in your heart. Take time just to be. Do a clutter detox of your schedule, home and innermost self. Make space and clarity will come. So for some of you not feeling like You're feeling like you're missing out on something, feeling like you're missing a message from the universe, and you can't get it unless you create the time to do it, which is what I'm doing today as well. So I'm just sensing quite heavy energy. And we've got the classic, what do you do when you get stuck in your thoughts? Be the observer of your thoughts. I don't know about you, that shoots me. Transmute that, which we will be doing by creating more space, accepting our darkness, and not having the pity party for one. Look, sometimes you need it, but if you're stuck in it for too long, this is your notice to get out of it. The revolutionary, it's doing something different. It's accepting that you've got the power to make the changes, and it's going to feel hard because you're trying to transcend something that you've been experiencing your whole life. It's a pattern that's been conditioned onto you, and you keep perpetuating and playing it out, and it sucks. And it's hard to get out of that. It's hard to get out of something that you've been doing for your whole life. And I just get the feeling it's this big victim mentality. We do have more power than we think, but we have to make time for it. If you don't have time because you've got family or children, or you're doing this or you're doing that, there will be a way you can tweak your day. There will be a way that you can incorporate doing something that you want to do. Finding that peace and quiet to accept that clarity from the universe. And just keep saying to yourself every time you fall into potential victim mentality or anything else that doesn't serve you, any of those thoughts, when you catch yourself, when you're feeling anxious or working yourself up or feeling a sense of dread or feel like, oh, why is this never changing? Just go physically, just say and do it. Just go, I'm now stepping back from the situation, because it's hard to be observer just in your head, because, you know, sometimes our thoughts rule us. Just go, no, and physically stand back. I stand back from this situation. I'm creating more space for the things I want, and list what you want. And right now, even if it's for a minute, even if this happens at work, even if for a minute, go step away and think for a minute. Go into, you know, a meeting room or your car, and just breathe and make that space for clarity to come. Doesn't matter if clarity doesn't come, it's making space and getting into that whole, no, I'm the observer of my thoughts. I can control this, for lack of a better word. I am stepping back and I'm taking a breather, and that's going to break this pattern, like the self-victimization, the perpetuating these negative patterns in your life. You know, if you keep thinking, oh God, here we go again, the same situation's about to play out, this is where you can change how you react around it. And this is really going to be important for you. So let's get one more final card. Let go of stress. I think this is really going to bring us some clarity. It's really going to help us make changes in our life. I really see this big cycle closing out, and it's fantastic. I don't know about you, but I don't want to feel that way anymore. Let's just get one more message. Imagine. See, when we're feeling less stressed and we feel like we're actually breathing properly and we're stepping away from those manic thoughts, then our imagination kicks in. And one of the biggest messages that came through before I started this reading was to only wait for the next step. I know we get so frustrated with not being where we think we want to be, and I totally understand that. But the universe is saying you only need to know the next step. Number one, those other steps that you want to know how to take, they're not synced up yet. They're not lined up. You know, the whole orchestra, the fabric of life, you see these lines in her fingers and stuff, this hasn't been worked out yet. So the universe can't tell you anyway, and it's also pointless. if you're climbing up a mountain, I'm seeing a mountain in the background, you probably won't see it, but if you're climbing up the mountain, you do see the top and you're like, okay, I just got to walk up the top. And how do you do that? Literally step by step. And then you might get to a point where you're like, oh, I can't climb up this, it's too steep, I have to go around it. But you're not going to worry about that. You don't stand at the bottom of the mountain and go, okay, but tell me exactly, I just need to know the path. You just go, ugh, I might as well get started, that's a big mountain. And you just go. Everyone's like, you start in this direction. So you just go and you figure it out as you're going along. You could choose left, you could choose right, you could choose to climb over that steep part. You know, the choice is yours, but you never ask, how the hell am I going to get there? You can see it's a long way, so you just get going. And you get there by step and changing things along the way. So whenever you feel frustrated with, God damn it, I'm not where I want to be, I'm not where I think I should be, just think of it like that. It's like you are where you need to be right now. And when we calm down a bit, we transmute our current energy, we step back, we affirm that we're going to do something different. We find the time to let go of stress, tell ourselves we're not our thoughts. You know, we'll get there a lot quicker. That's when clarity can come in. That's when the next step can come in. We don't need to know all the steps. We just need to know the next step. So have an awesome week. Don't forget to check out my new moon in Taurus reading. And then I've also done best things to do during a Taurus moon. Have fun with that. Check that out. And I'll see you soon. Bye.